Okay, what's up, guys? For the second video of the night, I'm gonna go over a couple things. I'm gonna go over some ta- some ways to set up your Webull, some picks that I like, um, and some opportunities that there were in the market and that there will be in the market. So yeah, really quickly, I just want to go over some stuff. So first off, I'm gonna move this somewhere. I don't know. Move it up here. Why not? Um, Ew, that's disgusting. I'll just do that. Yeah, why not? Um, so first off, we're gonna talk about how I set up my Webull. To see, this all looks crazy, right? All these lines and shit. But it's really not that hard to figure out once you know what you're doing. So setting up your indicators, you want to come over here, up to indicators, and you want to go to all indicators. And what I like is I like my Bollinger Bands. That's the yellow, uh, gray, and middle Bollinger Band, the blue one. I like my moving averages, my three moving averages. I have the 5-day moving average, the 50-day moving average, and the 200-day moving average. I have my MACD right here. I have my RSI, and then I have my volume indicator. So the ways to set up that are: you go over here, you go to all indicators, and you just check them. You click, that turns them on and off. It's really that simple. You find the ones that you want. Some people use. I've seen people use DMA, SAR, pivot points, EMA, alligators, VWAP, just different indicators for different trade styles. So if you want to set them up like after choosing them, the only ones you really need to change around are the MA is the moving averages. So usually they're going to be at like 520 and something else, 25, I think. All you got to do is just click on them, type in whatever you want them to be, and then click on them again, make sure they're checked off, and then change the color. So I like my 50-day moving average to be red, 200 to be green, and 5 to be blue. I think that's the most simple. Um, so yeah, like I said, I used all of these indicators to help me trade. I think they're the most accurate, to be honest with you. I think using all of these in combination, just using them with each other, I think that's the best way to do it. Um, but yeah, so um, really quickly, I am going to go over a couple trades that I want to point out for this week. Um, so yeah, so um, first we'll go over Root. I guess Root is right in front of me. But this was one I was talking about on my newsletter. I've been talking about it in the Snapchat group. I think this has a ton of potential to break out. Um, so it's actually fairly new to the market. We IPO'd uh, a couple months ago. And after the IPO, we've just had this really steep downtrend. We've lost more than 50% of our value, which is kind of crazy. But it looks like we're finally starting to reverse, right? We can see that we are actually we've got these expanding Bollinger Bands, right? The Bollinger Bands are moving on. That's a very bullish sign, along with some really nice big green candles. It just seems like they're pushing up. I think if we can break this $20 resistance, we could go all the way up to 22 and maybe even past that. We have no real resistance up here. But we got this MACD is trading above the signal line. That's big. We got some nice volume, and we're actually still we're not overbought yet on the RSI, which is another great sign moving forwards. And this is just on the daily chart. Looking at the 4-hour chart, we can see that we've got a golden cross forming, which is a really nice sign. That's when the 50-day moving average moves above the 200-day moving average. And we've got this expanding Bollinger Band, really nice green candles, expanding MACD. The only thing I really don't like is that we are overbought on the RSI, but it's not by that much. We could still see a lot more movement, and we could pull back a little bit. But I do think there's a ton of potential here this week. So this is definitely one to look to. Another one I want to talk about is BioLace. So going back to the daily, we can see that we had a pretty big pump here after this bounce off of the lower Bollinger Band. We pumped from 0.26 all the way up to 0.66, which is More than 100%. That's pretty massive. But what I really like is that we didn't. It wasn't just a pump and dump. We didn't pump and then just fall all the way back down. We are holding at a pretty solid point right here. We've got some nice uh, resistance turned into support at like 0.38, and we're bouncing up off of this 200-day moving average, and we're continuing to move up with some expanding Bollinger Bands and expanding MACD, and we're not even overbought yet. It would have been bad if we were all the way up here on the RSI, but we're not. So it's a really good sign. I do think this could go crazy next week. We're seeing on the 4 hour, we're seeing this continuous test of the 50-day moving average, and it really just looks like we're coiling up, and just ready for a breakout next week. We've got this little signal or just this little tip of the MACD crossing over. It's a good sign, and again, we are not overbought yet. So I do really like this one. And then third is Turtle Beach here. I also really like this play. I think it's along with great financials and just being a really solid long term. I do like the charts we're seeing. So there's this guy I follow on Twitter. His name is Trader Mike, and he has this strategy that involves a stock reaching a 52-week high and then pulling back. And it's good because there's a reason they reached the 52-week high. They're doing well, but you want to see them cool off and find support. And when they do start cooling off, because there isn't a ton of support, they cool off rapidly. Like you can see right here, there's just been a lot of sell-off recently, and it does look like we found support at this 50-day moving average. We've got some RSI support here at 40 as well, and this one just really looks like it could pull back up to at least 23, 24 from 20, which is a good it's a good gain. It could even go past that, honestly. Turtle Beach is a great company. They got really good financials. But yeah. And then lastly, there's a play I want to go over, a day trading play that I wanted to go over yesterday or not. I want to go over it today. I missed it on Friday. I'm kicking myself over it, to be honest with you. But so here's the play. Here's what I was looking at. So this stock has just been on a tear recently. It went up from 10 all the way to 30, which is more than 200%. And it's just been going crazy. And I figured like after the Thursday run up, maybe it would cool off a little bit, and it did actually. We opened and we moved down. We went red. We went from this open at like 21, and we moved all the way down to 1960. But the thing is, we pulled that loss all the way back up, and we actually went green. And when something like this happens, when you see a massive hype run and then you just see a ton of volume, look at all this volume coming in. When you see a ton of volume come in, and a stock goes green like that from red, it will continue. It will continue to move upwards, and it did that. It went actually 30% from its open, which was insane. Which would have been a great day trade, but I missed it. So it's just stuff like that you got to look out for, like plays like that when they pull back being red by that much. 19. I think it was down like 11% that morning. They pulled back an 11% dump all the way to green. That was really really strong. And you can see it. Nano Dimension's done it a couple times. A lot of stocks do this, but that's a pretty safe bet on a day trade. So yeah, those are the things that I wanted to go over. If you have any questions, just let me know in the Snapchat group. Yeah,